I didn't mean to.
We're the funny ones. We're happy dolls.
Oh, you knew the baby voice was coming out on this one, guys. Oh boy. How many times though? How many times? I couldn't resist talking like the Clock King in that last episode with the Clock King, and we'll see what happens when with this episode. I'm gonna try my best, guys. I'm gonna try my best. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Batman the Fan-imated stream. I am Dave the Film Junkie, and with me always, Mr. Scott McClellan. How's it going, sir?
Just waiting for my sitcom career to, get a comeback.
Redemption arc. Holy Lord, yeah. Kidnapping your old co-stars probably not the best way to do it. I would say, not the best way. But
Well, she wasn't exactly the most mentally stable person to begin with.
No, not at all, not at all. How's it going, Ryan? Good to see you. We got Kenneth right here. One of my favorite episodes. Yeah, there you go.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
What's going on, Jason? We got Mr. Venom right here, and we got Eric. Such a Travis. Yeah. Slow aging. Yeah, well,
slow aging.
Yeah,
systemic hypoplasia.
Now, is this? You ever seen that one little dude on your Twitter feed? I forgot his name, but that one dude. He's like you see memes with him all the time. The little dude. He's actually probably like in his 20s or 30s, but he's looks like a little kid. I forgot what his name was because he's not. I think he's like Russian or something like that. If somebody knows what that is, but I'm wondering if that. I think that's the same. If that might be the same thing because he looks like a little kid, but apparently he's like 30 years old or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of hypoplasia is the idea that you slowly or inadequately produce tissue or organ cells. So the idea is that because you're not producing enough cells, you don't age because you still have like the same ones.
You still okay? Someone said he's 27. What's his name? Ryan, if you're saying he's 27, what's his name? I can't remember his name. I know it's like, I think he's Russian or something like that. And like the whole shtick is, and it's funny, is his posse just fucks with him all the time. Like it's like that's the whole shtick. Like it's just I don't know. I guess, and that's how they capitalize on him because he's very popular. And I'm sure when you've seen him somewhere in some kind of meme or something like that. But anyways, that's not the point. We're going to be talking about Baby Doll. But yeah, this is an episode where this is a Bruce Timm written episode, right?
Paul
Dini. Sorry, not Bruce Timm. I think I had Bruce Timm on my mind because it was his birthday yesterday.
It was his birthday yesterday. But yeah, this is a Paul Dini written episode directed by Dan Reba. So
Hasbulla, that's who it is. His name is Hasbulla. Thank you for Jason. Yeah, it's I think I'm wondering if it's like pretty much the same thing. I mean, obviously, they probably use the actual term for that, and it seems like that's what that guy has too. Interesting guy because you're like, wait a minute, what's happening here? Why are these guys bullying a kid? Oh wait, he's actually an adult. It's crazy. Especially the end. We there? We good?
You're freezing. We were freezing up there for a second.
Yeah, that was weird. All of a sudden, of death show up. All right, that's weird. I don't know what's going on there. What was the last thing I said?
I'm not even sure. I'm trying to figure out, guys. Is it a case where am I freezing up? Is Dave freezing up? What's going on?
This time. It was me this time because
okay.
I saw the circles of death show up on both of our shots right there. So
okay.
Yeah. Okay. The tables have turned. Yeah, I know, right? Okay, because it's interesting because even my because I have the TV on, I just have it muted, and I'm webcast or Google casting it, and that even froze up too. See, I guess my internet just kind of glitched a little bit, so it's all because I hung up my new Batman light. That's what's doing it. You see that?
No, just too much power. Too much
power right there, sucking the life. Because I have to connect it to my tower right here because it doesn't have an actual power source. But anyways, at least I hung it up. All right, I think we're good now. Hopefully.
Yeah, you're moving, you're talking, you're making sounds.
That's good. But okay, so yeah, it starts off. The episode starts off. Of course, you have this, these actors coming out of, the back of a theater or whatever the hell.
Which is interesting. Did you pay attention to what play they were doing?
No, I didn't. What play?
I think it's very symbolic. They're doing Death of a Salesman.
Okay, so I'm not too familiar with the story of that though.
Okay. Arthur Miller classic, won the Tony, won the Pulitzer Prize. It's subtitled An American Tragedy.
Yes.
It's the idea of a traveling salesman who basically just blew it. I mean, he just did not become a success. He's kind of sacrificed his family and everything. And I see some I see some parallels there. I will say there's Callum, don't do this right now when Daddy's live. Where's Mommy?
Callum make an appearance again.
I know. I don't know why he's coming down here. So we're about to get a guest star.
Oh, that's fine.
But there's a really great TV movie version you should check out that has like Dustin Hoffman and John Malkovich.
Okay.
And it's worth checking out. But I found that idea of someone who like thinks they're like the greatest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the whole point is to realizing how much they are just like not good at this. And so that's Willie Loman in Death of a Salesman. So I feel like there's some parallels there between Willie Loman as this salesman and Baby Doll.
I'm sure that they made that correlation when they're writing the thing. That does make sense. Okay, cool. And actually, like when it comes to Baby Doll, is there anybody that we should know who voices her? Because I didn't.
No, actually, I looked her up. Not an actress, but like no one of any kind of renown. And even when Baby Doll shows up again in season 3, they change voice actors.
Okay, so as long as you could just carry that cadence, I guess.
Yeah,
because when she like breaks the character,
there's other voices that we'll need to talk about in this episode. But no, not Baby Doll, except for the fact that she just does an incredible performance. And like you said, when she drops the baby doll and becomes Mary.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like when she drops character, when you get we get these monologues that happen later in the episode, which are pretty cool because she drops character and then goes right back into it. So it's cool. I like that. But yeah, we get this young buck right here who looks like young Dick Grayson, but with a little peach fuzz mustache.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting that they took the time to give him like the puniest mustache.
It's like desperate mustache. Like, I'm maturing, guys. Like, nah, dude, just stop. Right? Callum's like, I'm enough of the mustache talk. Is he going or is he playing with stuff?
Oh, he's playing with stuff. Absolutely. We've got our own little baby doll right here for this episode.
I didn't mean to.
Oh no, but he does. But he does.
But so we get obviously the how she tricks. How she's tricking these people, because obviously we don't see her kidnap the entire cast because that would be a 2-part episode. And again, maybe this could have been a 2-part episode, but
now this is one that works really well as a 1-parter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying right now. The only thing is like you don't see her kidnap everybody. We only see the beginning, which is Tippy, and then we get later on the sister, and so that's the only ones that we see get kidnapped. So yeah, you're right though. I think they did I don't know if this one would have benefited with it. Part of me maybe they could have, but not really. I think this one doesn't feel like it's sped up like the Bane episode we were talking about.
Bane episode. No, this one is perfectly perfectly paced. I do, however, want to take an opportunity because one of the voices that's worth talking about is Brian, is this actor playing the older brother. His name is Robbie Rist. There's something about him that I'll point out later, but you might semi-recognize him because he was the voice of Michelangelo in the 3 live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies.
Shit! Wow, yes! That's pretty cool. Wow, I would have never guessed that one at all. That's pretty sweet.
No, okay. I guess I go ahead and say this, and then I'll connect it later. But he also, his big break, he played Cousin Oliver in the last 6 episodes of The Brady Bunch.
Oh, wow. And that's kind of funny because, yeah, I know what the connection you're making when it
Yes.
comes to this right here. Okay, interesting. Yeah, all right, all right, all right. Cool. We got some drumming happening behind the scenes. He's making music back there. I like it.
He
I like it.
really is. What can I
But
say?
and then of course we get a whole cut to thing where like, where are they now? We got Summer Gleason, of course, talking about, we've seen those shows about old TV sitcoms, and we do the whole where are they now? It's kind of funny because I was watching, I was watching the Pro Bowl stuff today, which is great. And then I changed it to Comedy Central. Billy Madison was on. I was almost like going to look up where the kids look like now in Billy Madison. So it's just kind of funny that this episode deals with the where are they now, because I'm kind of curious about that, and maybe I'll look that up later. But yeah, so then Summer Gleason is just doing like a whole where are they now. And then they talk about Mary Louise Dahl, and then they talk about the show and everything. And so then we kind of get like, like I said, this episode is the way that it flows and the way that the story is, the way that the story is happening. Is the fact that I love watching Scott do his fatherly duties. Yes. Oh my God. If you're listening, you don't get to hear it, or you don't get to see it, but yeah, he's having some trouble right now with Callum, so don't worry. Anyways, I know I almost want to do a play-by-play. He furrowed his brow. He is now off his chair. I like it. It's funny. Gotta love it. Gotta love the children. But no, and then we got three of the actors who have disappeared. And obviously Batman and Robin are talking to Gordon. They're trying to like figure this whole thing out, of course. And then they mention with like little cards and everything of who has disappeared, essentially. So, and okay, we'll wait for Scott to get back right now. We'll wait for Scott to get back before I continue on talking about this episode. It happens. It happens. Children, you gotta love the children. But so, if you guys want to talk a little bit in the chat, I will do that. I will maybe answer some stuff. I don't know if you guys saw, I retweeted a tweet. I retweeted a tweet that that had both Ben Affleck and Dwayne Johnson at the same table at the Grammys. I don't know if you saw that, but it was it was kind of funny because it's just kind of going like, ooh, and then of course things that I'll be talking about tomorrow on Film Junkie Live is the fact that talking about obviously with the DCU slate, there's some things that kind of came about that I saw rumors out there because we're all kind of wondering. Speaking of Ben Affleck, is he going to direct Batman: The Brave and the Bold, or is he going to be directing Superman? Hey, he's back. That was funny. Oh. What happened?
Everything was happening. I'm just like everything. It's like, would you get your hands off all the stuff that's down here? I had to carry him upstairs and be like, take him. I was texting my wife going, help. Come get him.
I do this every Sunday. I know that was funny because when you muted yourself and then I saw you get like the dad furrow brow and you're like, stop. I could tell. I was like, oh boy, it's getting intense over there. So, but anyways, I kind of stopped briefly talking about the episode and just kind of was talking about, of course, stuff like Ben Affleck and everything like that. Anyways, back to our regularly scheduled program here.
So
folks.
Where are we?
We are, with the whole, Batman and Gordon are at Gordon's office. They're talking about the cast members that have been kidnapped. And of course, Robin with his little jabs, he goes like, oh yeah, I remember this show. Because then they start like, playing some of the shows, right? Like you have like an episode.
Well, and then they're playing what they're watching.
Oh, they're playing the Where Are You Now?
They're playing the Where Are You Now in Gordon's office.
Yeah.
And Robin's like, man, this show still stinks.
Yeah. And it's just kind of funny because, again, just the Batman, the animated series stuff, because it's supposed to be an old show, so it's all in black and white. And yet it's like, wait, where are we? Wait, if you were a kid, Robin, you were like a kid in like the 80s, for thinking about it. Why would it be black and white? But hey, when the aesthetic of Batman, the animated series, we love it. And then, of course, they talk about her name's Mary Louise Dahl.
Mary Louise Dahl, Dahl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which I appreciated,
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you notice this connection? I'm not sure if it was intentional or not, but her design is very reminiscent of Elmira from Tiny Toons Adventures.
Ooh, I did not think about that. Wow. You're right.
And her cadence is a lot like
Yeah.
Elmira as well.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. I forgot about Elmira. We've talked about Tiny Toons a few times on here, but
Yeah.
I always forget because when you think Tiny Toons, you think of the main Tiny Toons, and then you think of Pinky and the Brain. But then we got to forget that
Well,
there's
Pinky and the Brain was Animaniacs.
oh,
So
that's right. What am I thinking? What the hell? Yeah, you're right. That was Animaniacs. What the hell am I thinking? I'm thinking like, well, you got the Tiny Toons, and yeah, we got Elmira, and then of course Mad Max. Always forget
yes.
about that. Yeah, who was the rich little spoiled kid who, of course, they had a little thing. I've totally just did not even make that correlation. That's good job. Good job, Scott. She does have this because it's like the short little dress. You see the little, panties or whatever
With
the hell. Which,
with the little
the
with the
hair.
little curly hair. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Wow. Did not think of that about that. But and then like they're explaining all that, and then Bullock just comes over the radio and just is like, dude, hey, people, we got a shootout happening over here at this theater. What's happening? We gotta get back up here. And then it goes right to it. Okay, so did you notice the two gunmen? Did you
Yep.
notice?
Yep.
Yeah, you did notice. Thank you. I was like, I had to pause it and go like, what the fuck? I was like writing, and then I looked and I'm like, oh wow, why is that guy dressed like Gilligan? And then I went, wait a minute, and then I rewound it, and I'm like, oh, the other guy's dressed like Skipper.
Skipper, yes, yes, that's intentional.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
That's
yes,
so
they're meant
hilarious.
to look like Gilligan and Skipper.
I was like, what the hell? It was just like, it threw me off. I'm like, I do not remember that or making any kind of, and it's funny too, because when I was a kid, I watched Gilligan's Island
All the
reruns all
time.
the time. So I'm like, I don't remember that little detail when I was a kid. I don't. It never. Like I said, I had to rewind it just to double check and be like, I just see that right. I was like, that's crazy. But yeah, we get a nice little shootout. And then of course when we got a van that comes, well, we got Batman and Robin are going to be intervening and everything, and then they do their, I love it when it's like Batman and Robin, they're always like swooping down. Of course Robin shows up first, and he almost gets hit by a van too that comes crashing in, and of course we get that.
Does he do that cool move where he like jumps on top, does like a barrel roll on top of the van, and then grabs onto the fire escape?
Yeah, but we get that Batman dad voice, that Robin, it's like, oh, because I mean the van is barreling right at him, but Robin can handle himself, acrobat and all. So and then of course they're starting to get away, and we get the whole, the utility belt, of course, summoning the Batmobile, and God knows, it's like, what exactly are you typing in right there?
It's like,
yeah. Is it T9? Like, is it what is it? Remember T9 with old cell phones? Back
yeah.
in our day, kids, T9 was the shit because you could literally text and drive if you knew how to T9. Can't really do that now. And I don't recommend it. Put your phone away while you're driving. Jesus Christ. Unless you have it propped up somewhere and it's utilizing navigation. There you go. That has been my TED Talk for this episode. All right. So, and then, so we got that, and then he almost gets run over, and then, and the whole thing happens because, and this was risky too, risky on her behalf, because she does the whole like ball goes out into the street, kid goes out to get it, and so the Batmobile almost is gonna just barreling down on her, and of course Batman quickly, I don't
crashes
know
straight into a newsstand where he could have taken out even more people.
Yes, exactly. Pretty dangerous.
I thought it was also interesting how they kept Baby Doll like in shadow. Once again, kind of that idea. It's like, oh come on, we know who this is, but like the show is trying to not reveal it yet, because when Baby Doll's crying and putting on her act, she runs over to Robin, and Robin's like holding her. When Miriam shows up acting like her mother, it'd be like, oh baby.
Okay, what's up with these characters where they have the glasses that you can't see their eyes? Why are they so creepy?
Because you want to see eyes, and it's just
it's like the ventriloquist. Reminds me of the ventriloquist
yes.
glasses. Oh my God. Like, it's just, she comes in and I'm like, what is she, a robot? What's happening here? I mean, like, that's almost like the first thought that you have. And I mean, she's a badass. So we find out.
I know. And later on, it's like, I want to put this. I almost feel like she's the prototype for Mercy Graves.
Interesting. Yeah, you could be right. Yeah, that's not a bad little it's not a bad little theory right there. I
Because once
wonder. Yeah.
again, let's remember that Mercy Graves later on was created for
Superman.
Superman the animated series, and
Uh-huh.
then was introduced into
The books.
the books later.
Yeah. That's interesting now. But yeah, but I'm just going kind of on like, man, these characters where you can't see their freaking eyes. Woof. There's just something creepier about them. And you know, they're hiding something, which of course she is. But yeah, you're right. It's like there's the episode's still trying to be like mysterious about it, even though we're all just kind of going, yeah, okay. You know, we know that it's a baby doll, obviously. And then of course she's in Robin's arms, and then she hands him off to Miriam, and then of course we hear the catchphrase, "I didn't mean
to.
to." So, and then Robin was like, "Whoa,
Whoa, wait a minute.
whoa," and then of course they turn around and be like, "Well," and then she starts giving Batman the business, naughty, naughty, Mr. Batman, and stuff like that. Batman's. That's right. You have to put an S
On
at
all
the
the
end of the name.
words.
Yes, that makes it more childlike. Like I don't remember if I spoke like that when I was a kid, though.
I don't think anyone really does, but
just
she got
adds
the
to
little
the cuteness.
bouncy ball, and
Yes.
that's kind of a cool little gimmick where like all the like the children's toys are like her weapons. So like she
Yeah.
bounces the big bouncy ball, and it's a big smoke bomb,
She's
basically.
loyal to the brand, man, just like the Joker, just like all of them. I mean, that's what's so cool about, even though this character is like not really, it's not like somebody that you think about when you think of a Batman villain at all. But I mean, you have to, all the good Batman villains stick to the brand. So they have to have all their weapons and devices that are within their brand. And she does it very well too, because she just throws that ball down and smoke grenade, and she does herself like a little ninja act. They do that. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love when Robin goes to grab. I got him.
Yeah.
No, it's Bullock. And he's just like, it's me.
It's like, really? Did you think that Bullock? You grabbed Bullock, this big, huge, hunky, like, hunking man, and not hunky. He's not hunky, hunking of a man, like a hunk of. That's a bad word.
That's
He's
a
just
bad
this
word.
slob.
Blob,
I don't know why I went
this
yes,
blob of a man.
blob of a man. I don't know why I was like thinking I would like use that word. No, he's
I see.
not
I
that.
see what your fetishes are, Dave. I
I know.
gotcha.
I
Okay.
have a secret crush on Bullock. You found me out. I found him. I find him to be a hunk. I'm just saying, hunka hunka, as Jared Leto's Joker said. Anyways, man, this episode. But that was a funny moment. Yeah, that was a funny moment. A little Bullock moment right there. He's not in it that much. He's just in it for this little.
I think like it's over after this.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah. He's not in it after that. So. And then, of course, then we get Tammy, who's the sister, wakes up in the bed, dressed up and everything, and then basically on the set. And I mean, this is like horror movie level stuff right here.
Oh, definitely. Like
Yeah.
this is like you've lost your flipping marbles.
This
Because
whole scene.
yes, because
movie.
the rest of the cast is there. And
I mean, talk about waking up to like a nightmare of a scenario, because it's like you're dressed in a costume that you wore like what 20 years ago maybe, and you're on a set that you were on 20 years ago, and then everybody else is there, they're dressed up in the costume, and then all of a sudden baby doll comes in and she's still exactly how she was. And my god, I mean, this is nightmare fuel, big time, just big time. And oof. But then we get Batman and Robin showing up at Summer Gleason's office, because obviously she did the show Where Are They Now, and so she already had things all ready to go. She had the tapes, and then she explains that what happened was, like, she walked off the set, she didn't want to do the show anymore, and basically screwed over all the other cast members, because the show was popular, even though that there was, we find out that it was dipping in ratings and they bring in a new character. But for the most part, the show was very popular, and her walking off just kind of screwed them over. So that's why she even says, like, Summer even says, like, why would she want to do that? It's like, well, they would be more mad at her than she is at them, because she's the one that caused the show to basically end. And then shows like I think it's Macbeth, right?
it's Macbeth, because she's doing the out damn spot lady Macbeth monologue from like act 4, act 5. Yeah.
So then we get the adult version of baby doll, even though she still looks like a child, but we get the adult voice which is interesting because it's, it's kind of deep. It's kind of, and I that's why I thought maybe it was somebody that we might know who it is when it
No, her
came to the
name
voice
is
talent.
Allison LaPlacia or LaPlaca. I'm not really sure exactly how to correctly pronounce her name, but nothing that like popped.
Nothing popped
For
up. Okay.
not for us. It's not like I said, not like Robbie Reese going, "Hey, it was Michelangelo in the 3 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies."
That's really cool. I love that. I'm gonna
Oh,
have
I
to go
got
back.
another one. I got another one
Oh,
we're
I
about to
can't
talk
wait. Can't
about.
wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait. But and then of course, Robin Pu.
Ew.
He's just not impressed. And then Summer goes, yeah. Even the critics thought the same way. So her adult dramatic career went absolutely nowhere because she's just not. She's better at doing the baby voice than it is to be doing that dramatic type of theater voice for sure. Because that clip, it is very much Pu. So, oof.
Well,
But
and then you
anyway,
notice that she's got that large stack of like baby doll episode tapes, and she gives them all over to Batman, and because she's like, because I want the exclusive. Of course, by the time she turns around, like they're gone.
exactly. So, I mean, Summer was doing like a good thing. She was like, doing a little, hey, let's do a trade off here. You figure this out. I give you these tapes. You're gonna have to give me the exclusive of wrapping up this whole case right here. But yeah, like she totally does. Both Batman and Robin do the vanishing act that normally Gordon gets. So, and that was great. It's like, nope, sorry, nope. We're just gonna go ahead and take these, and we'll see what happens.
Thanks,
Maybe.
Summer. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it. All right. So then, of course, we're back on set, and it's just a pure nightmare fuel because so much where Baby Doll, because they used to have a dog as one of the cast members of this family,
Buster.
Buster, and so she, but Buster ain't alive anymore, obviously, because it's a dog, and it's been like 20 years or so. So we have Buster as a stuffed Buster on a little cart with wheels that she just pulls in, and I love all the tape recorder stuff, obviously trying to get the ambiance.
She's got the laugh track. She's
Yes.
got the applause.
Oh,
Aww.
and then of course the dog barking, and then she's just like doing the whole spiel, and everybody at the table is like, what the fuck, like. And then of course you got Gilligan and the skipper over there with their Tommy guns just holding them up. But the dad, Todd, he decides to be like, you know what, screw this, and he tries to walk off set. Even though those two idiots are standing there, and they don't do, hey, sit your ass down. They just kind of let him go. But then Miriam shows up and says, nope, I'm gonna
Sit your ass down.
She's gonna make you sit your ass down, pretty much. So,
By the way, the dad is the other voice you should recognize.
okay, I was thinking like he does sound familiar. Who
He
is it?
does. He does. He really does.
Hmm?
You know who it is?
No,
Okay. The actor's name is Alan Young.
Alan Young. Doesn't ring a bell.
He's the original Scrooge McDuck.
Ah, there it is. Well, there you go. Right
Yeah, but
there.
go back and listen. You'll be like, oh, like
I can. Well, I'm just kind of thinking about it now because I watched it like right before we went live. So yeah, I can. Yeah. So I'm gonna. Yeah, but I'll go back and listen again, and even listen to the Michelangelo voice. But yeah, there you go. And he's probably got a bunch of other VA film in his filmography. He's probably got all kinds of animation.
Oh, he was in movies and TV shows for decades. It was in the 70s when he kind of made the transition. And yeah, he's got tons of stuff. But he's the OG Scrooge McDuck, like Mickey's Christmas Carols from the 70s, all the way up to he was Scrooge McDuck in DuckTales.
There you go. And and he does a good job of going off on a tiff. Because basically he says before he walks off, and Miriam like makes him sit his ass back down. It's like he's just going off and saying like it was your fault that we got canceled, and just kind of saying it all and blah 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 blah. But then we get the is that when we get the monologue? Yeah, she gets her before he walks off. Is like we get that little monologue. Because we get like a zero in like on her eye.
Like, and then like the bags show up.
And
she drops the mask, and then we get to hear like her real voice, like, I trained, I studied, I auditioned. And it's like this one small moment of vulnerability where you understand her motivation as a character. Like, you see her villain origin story, and then she immediately puts the mask back on to become
Yeah.
Baby Doll.
But I even like how they did it with the lights and everything, like,
Oh, yes.
they do that whole dramatic thing where you if you're on stage and you're gonna give this dramatic monologue, everything just goes and it's just like
The
the
spotlight.
spotlight is right
Yes.
on you. And it was just like really cool how they do that. And it was just like a cool way to just get that little backstory from for Baby Doll. But yeah, like you said, right back into it once when it just dropped for just a minute right there. So we got that, and then of course we get back to the Batcave, and poor Robin. Obviously, he's got to be the one that has to watch through all the episodes to get any kind of stuff like that. So of course he's just sitting in the chair, and I love what he says to Batman. He goes, and he's just like, it's a good moment because I love it when he's just like, when like Poison Ivy had us captured by those vines with those really thick thorns. That's better than this. He's just like, I'd rather be fighting, one of our super villains than watching these episodes. It was just like, yeah. I mean, obviously he's being a little facetious, but it's just funny because even Batman's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good little exchange. I just really like that. I really like that. But then of course he explains that when the ratings dipped on the show, they brought in cousin Spunky.
Right, which is the irony of Robbie Rist being the voice of Brian, because he was cousin Oliver, who was brought in for the last 6 episodes of the Brady Bunch, because all the other kids by that last season weren't kids anymore. They were like all grown up.
Mm-hmm.
And so the cousin Oliver on Brady Bunch was that first example, and it's been used since, of when you have a sitcom or a show that's in its later years, you could say it's in its decline, and they bring in a young character as a way of revitalizing the series. Which,
what's interesting though?
what
Like a sitcom that didn't do it early on, that I would say like brought in a young character, was Family Matters, because Family Matters at first was supposed to just be about the Winslows. Urkel was not supposed to be a recurring character. Like, he shows up when you see the first appearance of Urkel in the first season, he doesn't have, it's not quite super like how Urkel turned out to be. So like, it was just kind of funny because obviously they were trying to, early on, the show wasn't as much of a buzz. So they brought back the Urkel character strongly in the second season, and then it blew up. So right. I was just saying, like, that's just a different instance. But yeah, you're right. Just like in the Brady Bunch, the kids were, not so much kids anymore. So it's like, we need a cute, adorable character to bring in. So I do like the fact that they introduced that into here. And of course, that's going to make the main star not so happy, because in the episode it's her birthday and cousin Spunky does the whole thing of like, shoving her face into the cake, which gets a chuckle from Robin.
Right, gets to it from Robin, which is interesting because actually historically cousin Oliver was extremely unpopular on the Brady Bunch, and it didn't matter because ABC was already going to cancel the show. But there is actually a term in TV called the cousin Oliver syndrome.
Yeah, that's like it's a thing. Yeah,
right. It's right up there, kind of like with the jump the shark.
Okay. Well, yeah, with Fonzie.
With Fonzie, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I just thought that was like a really cool thing. By the way, Oliver was so unpopular that when they did those revival movies later on, he didn't show up.
He didn't show up. Not at all. They were like, nope, we're not gonna. Yeah, the very Brady movie, or even with some of the later TV movies are
the reunion.
Brady go to Hawaii. Brady's go to Hawaii and all those right
Brady
there.
Christmas and all that.
They didn't bring them back because they're like, nah, sorry, you didn't test well. It's kind of funny too, because even going back to Happy Days, somebody I saw on my timeline, somebody actually retweeted somebody tweeting something that showed the Cunningham family, and they all goes, nobody will ever know what happened to, and remember they at the first episode they had the brother of
who
Richie
goes up the stairs.
Yes. and then nobody ever hear about him again. Like he just vanishes, just absolutely vanishes.
There was a sister like that on Growing Pains, I think, that also
was there.
And
But
there's
speaking of Growing Pains, they brought in Leo DiCaprio.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
To get a young character in there to so they kind of did their own little Cousin Oliver thing. So yeah. And I mean, it's just something you have to do. Sometimes you got to introduce characters. Like Step by Step is one I used to watch, and probably about 3 or 4 seasons in, they introduced Cousin Cody. Yeah, and of course he's a good-looking dude, and he has his catchphrases. And guess what? Helped the show. I think it was like season 3, maybe.
It was early. It was early
on. But again, it's just what shows do. Sometimes the ratings just aren't there. You need that one character, and sometimes you hit it, sometimes you don't.
Well, which is interesting because this then shows us like why Baby Doll leaves the show. It's because she's no longer the star. She is this narcissist, and that doesn't play well.
Steph's bringing up a good, remember Raven? She showed up, the little girl at
yes.
the Cosby Show, and she was absolutely adorable. And guess what? I think that one actually helped.
That one helped, yes.
Yeah, because they needed somebody, they needed it because all the kids are getting older. So yes, yeah, absolutely, Steph. Good one right there. But yeah, that one actually worked, not like Cousin Oliver. But anyway, so then but I just like how, like, when you see her face get shoved into the cake, and Robin's like, and then he goes, like, he's like, whoop, shit. Was I supposed to hate this? I just told Batman that I'd rather be wrapped up in vines with sharp thorns with poison ivy than watching this garbage. But he gave a little giggle right there. That's just funny. Anyways, so yeah, we get that, and then obviously they were like, okay, so Batman and Robin need to find Spunky. And we get to Spunky. You know what? I'm not going to lie. I forgot about this little twist. I really did.
I completely forgot about it. It happened. And I was like, oh, yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll get to it. But yeah, we get Cousin Spunky, who now is just, at his house. Maybe, I guess he's in a band now. He's just in his garage playing guitar. Little chunky, got the long hair. You could tell it's him. And then, of course, we have Miriam and Baby Doll that are just. I love how she's just pushing, the cart like on the sidewalk, the little carriage, and then she gets all into his face like, "Hey, your music woke up my baby. Like, how dare you?" And he's like, "I gotta practice, lady. Sorry,
Did you recognize the voice of Spunky?
No. Well, who is it?
Okay, it's Jason Marsden, who was in the first 2 seasons of Boy Meets World.
Okay, yes, Jason Marsden. Oh, why am I got to put his face on him. Well, who is he in Boy Meets World?
He was a friend. Like he left after the second season, and
I need to look him up.
Yeah, look him up, because then if you watch his career, he appears in almost every DC animated project. Like after this, like he's in Superman, he's in The Batman as Firefly.
That's not him.
On Young Justice, he's the voice of Bart Allen. He's Impulse.
Jason Marsden. Who? What? Yes, I know the name. I'm trying to put his face. Well, who the hell did he play in freaking Boy Meets World? He played. It doesn't say his name.
His name was Jason Marsden. Like that was the gag when Mr. Feeney gets onto him. They called him by his real name.
Wow. Okay. Jesus. And I'm trying to remember what he looked like in the show. Show me images. Oh yeah. Okay. He was Eric's friend. Okay.
Yes.
So it wasn't the first 2 seasons. Oh yeah, it was the first 2 seasons. Yeah.
Because he left after season 2.
That's right. He played Eric's friend. That's who it was. Yes. I knew he looked familiar, but I thought he was one of Corey's friends. Yeah. He's been in a ton of stuff since.
Yeah, he has.
He pops up in a lot of things. Okay. There we go. I was about to say. Knew I recognized the name. Anyways, let's see. Yeah, he voiced a lot of things. Yeah, a lot of things when it came to animation and stuff too. Yeah, I remember that because he has a recognizable voice, like
very recognizable voice. Yes,
but I did not spot it here. Of course. Damn it. Anyways, so obviously, and again with Baby Doll and her specialized branded toys to fit Baby Doll, she has her little baby bottle and knockout gas. So, and then of course we get we wait when Spunky wakes up, tied up to the chair, and now they're going to basically reenact the birthday, but with a little twist, which is dynamite.
Yes. And you know what? I remember as I was watching the episode this morning, getting ready for this, when Spunky grabs the dynamite with his teeth and like tosses it, I was like, wow, that's a really cool move. Still didn't click with me. I forgot about that.
Dude, that's the thing. It was like, I was going like, okay, everything was starting to click back. And I went, oh yeah, that's smart of him to just like, obviously it's like right in front of your face. You're freaking tied to the chair. Best way to do it is to just, and then just like that. I'm like, good for Spunky. But then I went, oh yeah, because we find out it's Robin in disguise. God damn it. I was like, of course it is. Because obviously, you know, Batman comes crashing down to all that. And then it's just like, yeah, it's like, and takes out, you know, and it's basically gonna, but yeah, we get the whole thing, the whole reveal. I mean, obviously, when it comes to disguises, it happens a lot.
It's like a total Mission Impossible. Like,
yeah. Pretty much is. It pretty much is because you get, and I just always love it though, like when, you know, because then, you know, when he takes off the stuff, he's like perfectly in Robin gear. It's like, really, that was all underneath?
That's all underneath, yeah.
I mean, obviously, you had to probably quickly put on the mask, I'm imagining, but you know, his hair still looked perfect. That perfect Robin messy hair that he had. I guess it doesn't matter if he was wearing like a mask because
it would just make it even more perfect and messy.
Exactly. That hair just goes and just goes forward like that, you know, because when he's Dick, it's nice and combed and slicked back. Anyways, and then of course, so Robin's gonna deal with the cast, kind of get them together, and Batman's gonna go after Baby Doll. And I love the fact again, she keeps with her brand. She's on a big wheel. just rolling down like out of the lot. Going,
well, before then though, that's when we get the cool fight between Miriam and Batman, because she gives him the business,
dude. I mean, like he gets a he gets a stage light to the head. Did you see that when he crashes into that? She like knocked him in that, and a stage light just goes boom, and he's like, oh, like Jesus Christ, that hurts.
And then Robin fights her, and even Robin goes, "Lady, you're good."
And she goes, all in a day's work or something like that.
It's a living.
It's a living. That's what it is. Yeah.
It's a living.
Yeah. And then she's just like, like, whoa, where'd you train with the Leagues of Shadow? What the fuck's going on here? Jeez.
I do ever love the fact that she like does like the massive like Street Fighter like karate kick, and then all they do is wrap a batarang around her leg and like basically like yank her back.
Yeah, just like right into like the makeshift kitchen area of the stage. But yeah, it was a cool little fight. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump the gun right there. I forgot about, oh yeah, that part is right there. But yeah, then we get the whole big wheel thing, which of course, I don't know did you have a big wheel when you were
I had a big wheel.
Of course. That was, I mean, it was so, I remember like I had a big wheel, but then like me and my friends would always switch up each other's big wheels. I had a friend that had a Ghostbusters big wheel. I didn't have a Ghostbusters big wheel. I just had a standard big wheel. But I remember like, man, you get some loose gravel somewhere. Oh, that was fun.
Oh yeah.
Just doing stuff like that. Big wheels are fun, man. Do kids even do big wheels anymore?
Well, my kids did until the plastic on the tire finally degraded like 2 years ago. I mean, let's be honest, that lasted a good damn while.
Yeah, no, that's a good long while. I mean, obviously it's all plastic, so. But yeah, after a while of doing, you know, a lot of, you know, peeling out and drifting and stuff like that, yeah, that plastic's gonna get a little it's gonna get a little messed up. So but then of course we you know the setting that we, when it comes to the final portions of each episode, we have
Amusement Mile. I mean,
it's Amusement Mile. You know, it's like we have to get to a point where it's like we're at an amusement park, but it's not an abandoned one this time
though. No, it's an active one, which I love Batman. I'm trying to figure a couple of different things, because one, Baby Doll is hiding in the crowd. So Batman has the idea of just landing on top of some booth to draw people's attention.
And he does, because it's a bunch of kids.
It's a bunch of kids.
Oh my God, Batman.
So at first I was wondering if he was trying to trigger her narcissism, the idea that he's getting all the attention.
I think
but then it really is the fact that everyone else is going to run towards him and she's not. So she's left like, oh, here I am, because I'm the one person in the crowd who didn't just rush to gather around Batman. So it really worked because she would not run toward him in a situation like that.
Yeah, because I got the sense that he was trying to do that too. But yeah, you're right. It was probably more of just the strategy of that, which of course he then sees her, and then we get this whole running through. I mean, first off, he gets tricked into going into like one of those games that shoots the balls. I mean, I'm guessing that they're heavier balls, not tennis balls, because when they hit Batman, I mean, it like hits like one of those. If it was tennis balls, it would probably hurt a lot more, unless they're moving really, really fast.
No, those things were firing out of that gun like super fast because they bounced like they were tennis balls.
Okay, so yeah, they probably were, but if they're coming at a certain amount of speed, yeah, that's definitely gonna hurt. I was kind of determining like, or is it fast? Is there harder balls, like a hard ball kind of thing, or like the softball material? I don't know. Who knows? That's the stupid things I was thinking about during that part, at least. So then, of course, we have that, and then they're just they go through like all kinds of, obviously we're going to get to the fun house part, which is where they end up going. And then, I mean, she's like, she even says that it's like her rules now, because I mean, it is in the setting of where a kid would like to be.
Because Batman's too big.
He's too big. They're in this, little tunnel that if you're an adult, you're like on your, your stomach going through, and she's like the height of the whole thing. So she's got the upper hand. Yeah, and not to mention she has her little doll. I forgot what she called the doll. Her little.
Yeah, I forgot what she called him.
It's a gun.
It's a gun out of one of the eyes.
Yeah, it's a freaking gun. Again, branding. Yeah. So then we get to that and see, and this is of course where we play the clip.
Clip. Yes.
The clip. Yes. So. Let me get this right here. But yeah, it's almost like it reminded me of a little bit of like Feet of Clay. When they're playing all the performances and he's seeing all the monitors and seeing himself as all the different characters, it kind of gives me that vibe right there. But I mean, it's not nothing against it at all. It's great. But yeah, here it is right here.
Game's over, Mr. Batman.
Mr. Batman.
I win.
Jesus. That's creepy. Nightmare fuel right there. No fair.
Cock the gun again.
And then here we go. Yeah.
Fun. What is it about funhouse mirrors? They're just creepy as hell.
They're creepy as hell. And then right there, she sees herself.
Look. That's me in there.
That's me in there.
The real me. There I am.
Aww.
But it's not really real, is it?
Oh, God.
Made up and pretend like my family and my life and everything else.
Breakdown.
Oh, yes.
Why couldn't you just let me make believe?
Yeah, Batman.
And you got the dark circles around her eyes.
Yes. The tears.
Because she's choosing at that moment to destroy the fantasy.
And then she just breaks it off. And I love that you see her right there. Oh, man. And then she keeps on going. I love that, too. Until Batman goes, hey, time to stop.
Yeah.
And then she just breaks down. Aww. And then sympathy from Batman.
Right, because watch this. I love it.
Yeah.
She hugs his leg.
And he does that.
He puts a hand on top of her head.
Exactly. It didn't. And then she says the catchphrase, but she says it in her normal voice. Perfect way to end that episode. Wow. So strong. They knew exactly where they wanted to end that.
That was Dini. That was Dini working his magic.
That was just really good. Really just the perfect way to end that story right there.
And it's really interesting that because for a really great episode. Now, I will go ahead and say that her reappearance in the third season was a massive letdown. When we get to Love,
I'm trying to remember.
Love is a Crock.
Well, yeah, okay. I'm trying to remember the episode though. It's like it's hazy. It's hazy.
There's a reason.
Yeah, yeah. It's not strong. It's
not strong at all. And like you said, and you have an episode where by that point they'd recast Baby Doll and they'd recast Killer Croc, because there were 3 villains who ended up getting recast in that season. It was those two and Scarecrow.
Scarecrow, that's but the
Yeah.
Scarecrow got the redesign, which I thought was pretty
Yeah, it had the redesign and new voice.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that for this episode being a really, really great episode of the series, the character never made the jump into the books or anything. Like,
Really?
she's shown up in a couple of Elseworlds books. She shows up in a hallucination in the Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Adventures.
Interesting.
And she shows up in White Knight.
Wow.
Because
that was the one with like the whole Joker Jack Napier thing.
Yes, because it's gone on, because there was White Knight, Curse of the White Knight, Beyond the White Knight, but Sean Murphy takes heavy inspiration from the animated series in that Elseworld story, and she shows up with Roxy Rocket in that book.
But I mean, like, I can understand, I guess, why they didn't. I mean, like, I'm not sure like how much they could do with her when it comes to. I mean, this story was about her trying to recapture what she had at once. So it's like, I mean, I don't know how they could do like so much with this character. Maybe
I could see them going like,
you think so?
Super dark.
Yeah,
with
they
her.
could go super dark. Yeah, and like I said, she's got the brand loyal toys, so she does very much fit in the rogues gallery. You know, it's not like it's not that the dickhead who wanted the cape and cowl.
Yeah,
it's not him.
No, but Wormwood.
Yeah, I couldn't remember his name. I was like,
but it's like, for all the characters in the animated series or in the animated universe that they did eventually I mean, Roxy Rocket jumped over, and oh, help me out, the electric girl that I'm blanking on from Superman the animated series. Damn it.
Drawing a blank on that too.
I am drawing a blank. Oh, Livewire. There we go. And Harley and Montoya and Mercy Graves. It was interesting that, like, Baby Doll, this is a great episode, and yet they never utilized her after this, really.
I mean, and it's an interesting character. It's a character with a not a disease, but a disorder. A disorder. So, I mean, you think maybe they could have found out something to do with her. To me, it just seems like maybe they just thought this episode was just that, but then they couldn't think of anything else. But hey, you never know. She might pop up in some kind of future book or something like that. Maybe they'll do something. Who knows? Because it's going to happen, because we're talking about it, and we all know that they're all watching this.
They're all watching. They're all listening. Like, we speak things into existence.
We speak it. Yes, that's what it is. We know what they should be doing when it comes to all that. Baby Doll's going to show up in the new DCU Chapter 2. That's what's going to happen. That's going to happen. Hear that, James Gunn? You're going to,
Matt Reeves. No, Matt Reeves put her in the Batman Part 3.
That would be damn interesting right there. So, but it's a great episode, a great ending to an episode. And I don't really have more to say. I don't know about you.
No, like I said, that was my last little bit. I'm just surprised that she didn't take off more.
Yeah, it's interesting. So next week is the Super Bowl. So,
do people actually watch that?
Yeah, a little bit. So we're not going to be doing an episode next week, because I'll be at my friend's house watching the Super Bowl. So we're going to not be here next Sunday, but then we'll be back, of course, the following Sunday, and there'll be no more, football will be officially over. So there'll be no anything like last week when I had to bump it 15 minutes because playoffs and it was intense. My God. So, we won't be here next week, but we'll be here the week after. And what episode are we talking about?
We're talking about what actually ended up being, in air date order, the final episode of season 2 of Batman the Animated Series, The Lion and the Unicorn.
The Lion and the Unicorn. I'm trying to remember this one. Does not ring a bell right now, but I'm sure.
Do I tell you? Do you want to know?
Go ahead.
It's the Alfred episode.
Oh, okay. There it is. Yes. Okay, now I remember. Okay, that'll be a fun one to talk about for sure. So, but like I said, guys, Super Bowl next week. So enjoy the game. We're getting a lot of movie trailers too, including that Flash trailer. Oh my God, that's gonna be crazy. So we'll get some Batman this next week for sure. But that's expect us back 2 Sundays from now. So go ahead, Scott, promote.
Well, of course, you can find me on Twitter at ScottDC27. You can find my podcast, the DC Squadcast, where podcasts can be found. We're on Vero, Facebook, YouTube, with the entire network of shows at squadcastmedia.com. We are a fan-supported network, so head on over to patreon.com/squadcastmedia. We published our Judge Dredd review, and the next couple coming up, we're going to be talking about Spider-Man 3 and Barbed Wire.
Oh, my God. That's so funny because I just watched the Pamela doc yesterday. Have you watched it yet?
I have not watched it. How was it?
It's a good doc, but man, that lady, you feel sorry for her and then you don't, because it's like you're just like you're partly creating some of this, but then of course the whole controversy with the sex tape and stuff like that. It's like, but then you kind of go like, well, there's a lot of things, questionable things, but she's made bad decisions. Let's just say that. And when they talk about Barbed Wire, holy crap. It's just like, you just go like, how did you not know that this was going to be a stinker? Like, how did you not know? But because they have clips in the doc and just the one-liners and the bad acting and so you guys are going to watch that. Well,
yeah.
I mean, at least there's eye candy in there. I mean, she does look, it is Pamela Anderson in tight leather and high heels the whole time. But yeah, that's just funny because I heard about it. I know it just came out, so I put it on, and it's not a bad watch. Watch it. It's interesting, but yeah, you kind of end the doc going, I feel sorry for you, but at the same time, you made a lot of bad decisions. You did. But anyways, all right. Yeah. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Enjoy the Super Bowl next week. And we'll see you guys 2 Sundays from now. Same bat time, same bat channel. We will talk to you later.